Hey, it's Stargirl. So some of you expressed some interest in me showing off my tattoos. So today I'm going to do it, even though it kind of is a little triggering for me because it really makes me remember my past. As you guys probably know from my previous video, my past wasn't the best. It wasn't the greatest childhood. I started getting tattooed when I was 15 years old by my friends with tattoo guns and needles and Indian ink, probably because on some level I hated myself. That's why things like this happened. That's my first ever tattoo of my maiden last name. I also had this idol named Brody Doll from the Distillers, and I wanted to be just like her. Some of you may want to make fun of me, but you know when you were a young teenager, you had one idol you looked up to, so don't hate. Mine was Brody Doll. She had a bunch of tattoos, and for some reason, I thought these crusty people with bad equipment could give me the same level of tattoo, but I was wrong. So I ended up with a bunch of jailhouse tattoos, not because I was in jail, but because they looked like jailhouse tattoos. Actually, probably worse than jailhouse tattoos. The original tattoos I had were the one on my wrist, the one across my chest that said punks, a jailhouse snake, which you can still see to this day because I have yet to get it covered up, this star, and I also had an ex-boyfriend's name tattooed across my hip right here. The cringiest one, I think, was this fake sublime sun I had with an eye in the middle, and you can still see the eye, and it was really swirly and awful, and the guy who did it was tripping on acid. If I have pictures, I'll put a little thumbnail in the corner so you can really take in the cringiness of it. Most of them I can't find as I just deleted my past from my mind. The first jailhouse tattoo I got covered up with my ex-boyfriend's name was this phoenix, and I swear I'm not stripping on camera, guys. I'm trying to make this as PG as possible. And the reason why I got this phoenix is because I wanted it to represent the new me, the me rising from the ashes, becoming stronger than ever, becoming who I was meant to be. And it comes down to about here, so I'm not going to show you the full thing, but it hurt like heck. My ribs ached. The shading was awful. This took about 8 hours. I know a lot of people don't like colored tattoos, but I really do, because all of the jailhouse tattoos I got were really black, dark, gray, and I wanted something colorful that would really cheer me up and put me in a positive direction. So the next tattoo I got covered up was my punks tattoo, and now it is a chest piece. It's a gypsy girl with a moth in her hair holding amethyst and a bunch of filigree, because as you can see right here, this is where that awful punks was covered up, which I definitely ripped from Brody Doll and Tim Armstrong when I was going through that awful punk rock phase. And the reason why I got this is because I was starting to really get into my spirituality. I was really starting to get into crystals. I was really starting to get into the metaphysical, and I just felt like this embodied what I wanted to be. This was not on purpose meant to look like me, but I told the artist I wanted the face to be really pretty because it would be on my chest. So I think he made it look like me as sort of like a, I don't know, but I think he just did it and I just didn't notice it because I was 18. And a lot of you might think, oh, when you're 18 you should know. Some of you might think when you're 18 you're full grown and you know what you're doing, but at 18 I was such a clueless mess. Would I take them back? No, because this is what makes me me. This is part of my story. Amethyst used to be my favorite crystal because it heightens psychic ability, and I did this way before I did my psychic business, so I almost feel like it was foreshadowing what to come. Plus I got the moth because my grandma, she passed away, and when she died she used to say if she could come back as anything it would be a moth, and ever since she's passed I always have moths land on me, and that's why I got the moth in her hair. The third cover up I got was the awful sublime eye I was talking about. I got it covered up with flowers and a butterfly and a lot of black because it was really dark and had really dark lighting. So the artist said there was no way that they could cover it up unless we did some shading. So I was like, fine by me. And then I got a butterfly, a yellow rose, and some little butterflies, a red rose, And then this was part of my older tattoos that were covered up, as you can see, by the line work. And he sort of just added some things to the snake to make it look less jailhouse. And then I got a rose right here, which is older. I got it at the same time as this snake. And then there's the infamous star. Ugh. And then I got home is where the heart is, right here. And the reason why I got that is because when I moved to South Carolina when I was 20 years old, I really missed my band because I left my band to get married because I was sick of being homeless and I wanted security and I was in love. There's really no great way to say that, but like I said, guys, I don't have a really great past that I'm proud of, but I want to share it with you because these tattoos are the story of my past. And I got Home is Where the Heart Is in typewriter because I used to like this book called Perks of Being a Wallflower, and that's what inspired me about it. At the same time, I also got this bow with the Maryland flag and the heart. So as you can see, home is where the heart is. And then I have a heart with a Maryland flag on my wrist. Then underneath here, I have a tiger, a purple rose, and I didn't finish this rose. It was supposed to be colored in, but I kind of like it not colored in. And the reason why I got a tiger was as a reminder to be strong because all my life I felt very weak, and I know it's just a tattoo, but it just sort of makes me feel empowered, like I can get through anything, and they're my favorite animal, and I thought the purple rose would look really nice next to it. By the way, this part really, really hurt. I cried like a baby the whole time, and my tattoo artist was super annoyed with me. I'm also really weird about needles, so right here where my veins were, when it was being shaded in, I cried like a baby. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. And that is my sleeve. If you're asking me why I got a bunch of roses, it's because I think they're pretty. There's really no reason or purpose about it. I just feel like roses and flowers are very feminine and pretty. And I don't like to get things like skulls or things that are dark because like I said, a lot of these were cover-ups for old tattoos and I wanted to keep it light and beautiful and represent the new person I was becoming. Once we move on to my back tattoos, I have Not Yours in a heart behind my back, and I got this during a really bad breakup. I also wanted to copy my idol Brody Dahl, who had a heart tattoo on the side of her back. I shamelessly ripped her off because she was my idol as a kid, and I know that's awful, but I did do it. And it's one of those cute, lighthearted tattoos that I really like. Some of you might be like, that's a stripper tattoo. Some of you might be right. Then, I don't know if you guys can see, on my back I have a supernatural anti-possession tattoo because when I was with my ex, we were very obsessed with supernatural, so we got matching tattoos of it. This one barely hurt. I fell asleep during this one. Then on my shoulder, I have in cursive, War-Torn Angel, and that's because my old bassist used to like this song called War-Torn Angel, and I felt like it really suited me and what I was going through. If you ask my old roommate Kayla, it says Wonton Angel because I'm Asian, and if you look closely, it kind of does look like that. So let's move on to my leg tattoos. There aren't as many as the rest of my body. Sorry if you can see my leg hairs, but it's a mermaid on an anchor that says "You are my anchor," and I got that as a matching tattoo with my ex who I moved to South Carolina with because he was in the military. He has a compass that says "You are the wind in my sails." Needless to say, I learned my lesson about boyfriends' names on me and matching tattoos. The other leg tattoo I have is Luna from Sailor Moon. I got that in Myrtle Beach one day because I thought it was cute. Also, Sailor Moon was my favorite show growing up. I know I'm at like this really weird angle, but I wanted you guys to see. So the most recent tattoos I got were Stargirl on my knuckles. They faded a lot over time, But the reason why I got Stargirl is because of my favorite book by Jerry Spinelli. It's a book about nonconformity. I loved it as a kid. I had friends telling me, you should get Homesick. You should just get Riot Girl. But I was like, no, I don't want anything common. I want this to be special to me. Because when I got this, I was a struggling musician in Nashville. And I really wanted something to encourage me and something that reminded me who I was. And now my channel is named Stargirl.thepracticalwitch. No, it's not the best quality. They were a apprentice tattooer. I still love it due to what it means to me. Ever since I got this tattoo, my life has gotten nothing but better. And then I have these little emojis just because I designed it and I thought it would be cute. So I got a star, a planet, a lightning bolt, teardrop, flower, heart, bow, and a crown. Those are all of my tattoos. A lot of them are cover-ups. However, I wouldn't take them back for the world. They are my story. They are what make me me. Even though with them comes a lot of pain from the past, they're also a reminder that I'm constantly evolving into the person I want to be. I really hope you guys enjoyed my tattoo video. I hope I didn't bore you too bad, and I will see you later.